All right, what's going on, Navy Vet 88? Man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another video tonight. Start off by saying salute, happy Veterans Day. This video right here is going to be something that is a touchy subject that I actually don't hear a lot of when it comes to the social media aspect of people who are veterans, who speak about military service, people who speak about their experiences in the military. This is just pretty much a topic that I really don't hear a lot of, and I'm not sure if it's because of a particular reason or if it just doesn't, happen to ever get talked about. So I figured, why not me? You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and give my opinion and express my thoughts and ideas about this basic conversation. And that particular thing is the media, movie outlets, video games sensationalizing a certain area or a small particular portion of the actual military in itself. Now, a lot of times, if it's a lot of people who have served with me that know me, a lot of people that I served with, we recognize and understand and know that not everybody who is in the military is carrying a AR-15 or some form of M4 style rifle, shotgun, pistol, and things of that nature. That is a part of the military, but the military also has a large group of subsections throughout the entirety of the military where everybody plays a vital, pivotal part of the entire thing working and operating how it's supposed to operate. A lot of times we see a lot of movies, Black Hawk Down, Lone Survivor, Act of Valor, the list goes, Tears of the Sun, the list just goes on and on and on. And then we see those movies and we see video games, Battlefield, Call of Duty, and all of these other, video games, of course. And then media sensationalizes things when it comes to news coverage, when it comes to what they're actually showing, when it pertains to showing active duty military personnel. But what I feel like they don't show you is the greater portion of personnel within the military or servicemen and women who do their jobs but don't get the recognition and don't get the respect, what I feel like is due, because of the particular job that they hold, and where the Joe Schmo random citizen who doesn't know anything about anything see it and they think, oh, well, they're not doing anything because they're making sure that the staterooms are clean and squared away for officers, or they're making sure that the food is served and prepared and taken care of for all of the troops that are on the ground, and make sure they have all of the proper nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and everything that they need in order for them to sustain being out for 2, 3, 4 days on end of course, logistics, paperwork, personnel, mailing services, sewage, the list goes on and on and on. But a lot of times I feel like there is a large push, I guess, when it comes to a recruiting tool that they like to use in order to bring more people into the military, but they don't show all the aspects of the military. And because they don't show that, I feel like the regular everyday citizen doesn't recognize that. So when they hear about somebody doing something whose your rate or your MOS or your job is to ensure that parachutes are properly stowed inside of their harnesses and making sure that they're operating properly, and that's what you do, that's your thing, or you work down, and laundry services where you're making sure that the laundry is clean, people's uniforms are getting pressed, whether it's chiefs, officers, and things of that nature. They'll see those things as like, nah, it's kind of like it's really nothing at all. You're not really you're a nobody, basically. But for me, I know, because I've served, everybody's part plays a pivotal part to the entire, machine operating. And I think a lot of people don't recognize that, and that's something that I hate to see. Now, when people see my channel, they see the content that I post, the firearms, the training on the range, and things of that nature. I think a large portion of people automatically assume that my time in the military was surrounded by what you see in the content, but it's the furthest thing from the truth, actually. My time in the military, I worked with cleaning fuel. I worked with servicing aircrafts, fueling aircrafts, transferring fuel, and making sure that the fuel was up to standard and it was quality fuel that was going into the aircraft, so that they can go out and perform their missions or just train or what have you. But a lot of times I think when people see commercials, they won't see the people who are down on the 7th and 8th deck at the bottom of the ship cleaning fuel. They'll show the people who are up on the flight deck, shooters shooting, F-18s right off of the deck and stuff like that, which are basically officers, and they're shooting other officers off the deck who are behind the, joystick of the fighter jets or what have you. But they see that and they kind of think that, oh, this is all military. And then they'll show you 100 people running on the ground, hiding in the jungle, coming out of the water, jumping off of the plane. And they'll say, oh, and that's the other part of the military. But there are so many more aspects to the military, so many more aspects of the job titles, so many more rates and MOSs and things that you couldn't remember them all. But I think media likes to sensationalize a lot of particular things in order to, I guess, maybe use them as a marketing tool or a recruitment tool. So they show certain movies, they show certain aspects of video games, they show certain aspects of commercials to, I think, make a person who's not in the know think that, hey, if you go out and do this, this is the respectable thing, and there's nothing else under that. Like, once you're doing this, then it's just like you're here, and anything below that is like whatever. And the sad thing is, I feel like a lot of people don't get the respect that's due just because of the job title and positions that they've had in the military. And it's not the fault of the everyday citizen, everyday person who hears that, hey, you used to cook food or something like that they don't know. They think that, hey, well, you must not have been about nothing, and that's why you was doing what you was doing. But I'm like, hey, it took a lot for us to get in there. A lot of people can't get in. And once you get in, you are what you are first, and then everything second. So if you go, I was in the Navy. So if I come into the Navy, whether my job is working on a nuclear reactor, whether my job is cooking food, whether my job is washing laundry, whether my job is being a corpsman out in the field, working side by side with Marines or anything like that, we're all sailors first. Once we come out of boot camp, everybody's a sailor, all sailors. And then after that, everybody has their own, job title, own rate, on thing that they go out and do that they signed up for to have a specific job title. But at the end of the day, we're all sailors. But I think a lot of people don't give us the due respect that I feel like should be given to us. But it seems to be only garnered to a certain select individual few of what people's idea of real sacrifice military, quote unquote, personnel are. And then everything else after that, it's just like, oh, well, you just whatever. But I don't want to hold y'all too long. This is just, I wanted to kind of touch on that, get you guys' opinions and see what you guys thought about that. Anybody who's watching this who served, you probably understand what I'm talking about. And if you haven't served, then you probably like, what the hell is he talking about? But yeah, so I just want to get you guys' feedback, see what you all think about it. I've taken up enough of your time. Go try to edit this video, get it out for you guys tonight. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Navy Vet 88. Again, happy Veterans Day. Peace.